My name is Peter Newton, and I'm 20 years old, right now recording in Monroe, North Carolina. I do live over in Waxhaw, and I go to school in Wingate, so kind of traveling around this local area. I'm a business finance major up at Wingate. Halfway through, I'll be a junior next year, so really enjoying that. And I just wanted to share a couple things with you. Just take it with a grain of salt. I'm no expert on anything. Just want to get you a different angle, kind of open your eyes on some stuff. So something big that I've come to find out, it's really important to find what you like to do and what you like as well, what you care about in your life. For me, it's my family, my current family, all my siblings and my mom and dad. There's seven of us in the immediate family. And also, when I say family, I'm talking about, my potential future family. I really want to do everything I can right now to prepare myself and build a good foundation for that idea. And keeping that in mind, it really helps me with making decisions, big decisions about whether I'm going to do this or do that, how it's going to benefit or get closer to what I like to do, and that would be having a future family. So right now I just really want to build a strong foundation to create an environment for my kids. I want them to have better experiences, better life than I did or I am having. And I understand not everybody's gonna have the same childhood, but the growth has to start somewhere, and it should be with just you. You can start it. And it kind of makes me think about this quote from Gandhi. He says, "Be the change that you want to see in the world." So take that in. It's a lot to think about. Sorry, trying to be a little more energetic here. I'm not depressed, I promise you. So a big thing, everything starts with good preparation. My dad tells me all the time, he says that if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. So I kind of keep that in mind sometimes. Middle school for me, it was fun and all. You get to kind of develop on some of your skills, soft skills, building relationships with people, between communication and just some of your talents, as well as starting to develop a drive, for motivation, being responsible, developing good habits. But I'm sure you guys know, once you get into high school, and I know you guys are juniors right now, big thing, your actions are going to start really greatly reflecting on how your future is going to be in high school. That's when, I really started taking things seriously. And, some of my teachers told me, I still think about it sometimes in regards to school, the first 13 years of your life will, potentially determine the next 60. What do you dabble in the beginning is going to make a big difference for you in the future. I kind of compare it to some of the racing that I do. I race dirt bikes. And some of my coaches, my dad would say, you can't win a race on the first lap, but you can lose it. Yeah, you can really mess it up, where it's gonna make it super difficult to come back. You're gonna dig yourself a hole right away. So kind of comparing school to that. You can't be the king of the world right out of the gate, but right now you can put in the work that it takes to get there. So high school for me, I did well. It allowed me to get into a college of my choice, and it made education, getting a further education, the bachelor's degree, a great value, very affordable. But it wasn't only about just getting that degree. It was really about having the opportunity, to find what I like to do in life, and also give me the chance to meet some new people, and also be prepared for potentially taking a job in the future if I do need that, that degree. A lot of employers now are looking for stuff like that. And also, over the past 5 years, I've been working at the same time, consistently been working on and off different jobs. I probably had about 7 jobs during this time, And the reason I've had a lot of jobs is just to try different things in my life. Sometimes trying different things, you can find what you don't like and what you do like, and you meet new people. Good connections is always key. But I've come to find some war type stuff that I enjoy doing with my professional time, because that's going to be the majority of your life is really working. So you want to enjoy what you're doing and who you're around. A good positive environment, it's gonna do a lot for you. So I probably started working around sophomore year in high school, and it was at this time that I was doing some summer jobs, doing some jobs after class. It was pretty tough, but I had to get that money, right? So, and it was also, a time I had one boss. He did tell me, he gave me some advice. I don't really know what his point was behind it, but he said that there's two types of people in this world. He said that there's people who take orders and people who give orders, and he said, which one do you want to be? And it makes a big difference. In my opinion, it's really nice to have people come to you, and you tell them what's best for them. You don't just take in what they have to give you, and you don't give them any feedback. This is kind of a big motivator for me with seizing opportunities. I don't want to stand around, with my hands tied, just waiting for the next person to tell me what to do or tell me the orders that I need to carry out. And it kind of makes me think about there's a Latin phrase. You'll probably remember this if you don't already know it. Carpe diem just means seize the day. It seems like a lot of times one opportunity is kind of dying out, and a lot of times another one is another door's opening, and that's a good chance to jump in. You never want to settle. You try different stuff like me, try different things, and help you find what you don't want to do and what you do want to do. Sorry about all the stuttering and stuff, and I know I'm saying even if you don't know. But I want to get a little bit more into what I do. I am in a sales position. I'm a sales professional. I sell new Hyundais and also pre-owned vehicles. And it's considered, I say sales professional, anything that you have a talent that you get paid for, you're basically a professional at that point. When people are sick, they go see a doctor. When people need a car, they come see me. And it's a kind of different level to things at this point. It's not people telling me what I need to do. It's I learn a lot of things. I study stuff, and I give advice to people, and it makes a big difference in their life. And it feels good to change people's lives. It's a really big moment when people get a new car or a pre-owned car. Super excited. Something they're gonna have for a long time, and it's one of the biggest investments in people's lives. So that's kind of what I like about selling, and there's a lot of great guys here to work with. So this is kind of probably one of the best things that I've done work-wise out of my different jobs, and it's really beyond school and college. I still have 2 more years of school, but I've been working at this at the same time, but still staying on top of my grades. I'm not slacking on that at all, because that's part of keeping my goals in mind for building my family. But this is definitely something to fill up some of my downtime, and also, like I mentioned earlier, building good connections. Once you can get into meeting some people in the business, or different types of business, people that know a lot more than you, are a lot more experienced. Even if you don't need it now, down the road, once I do have a degree, I might be able to move into a different sector or different industry and have a connection to get there. It's not always about what you know. A kind of cliche, people say it's who you know as well. It makes, it's a big deal for sure. I know I'm gonna start sounding like a advisor here, so I apologize. like I said earlier, I'm no expert on anything. You know, I'm far from having life figured out. And you know, if anyone says that they do, they're lying. You know, nobody's the same, and it has to start with you in your heart. You know, your motivation to be better, to benefit yourself and your life and those who are around you. You really you can't just look at other people and say you want what they want, or you want what they have, or be exactly like them, because you're not them. And no, you know, like I said, nobody's the same. People kind of put their best selves out there, a screenshot of their lives, and you know, to people looking at them in a broad sense, or even people that know them well. But nobody's perfect. They don't have it figured out. What they put forward, you know, there's always something that you don't see behind the scenes, in the family or in the relationship or in the job. Nobody has it figured out. There's always something ugly that people are facing, have to encounter, or you know, they're going through right now, or they're trying to hide, but they still think about it all the time. And you gotta overcome some of those things. That's just part of life. So kind of wrapping it up here, I want to talk a little bit about achieving your goals. And with achieving your goals, that's kind of the pinnacle. Once you do get there, that's the end product. And you know, definitely time to celebrate for sure, have a good time. But it's not always about that. A lot of the reward of achieving and accomplishing your goals, it's from the memories and the relationships that you develop along the way. It makes a big difference in your life. People need each other, and the impression that you make on other people goes off on the people around you. It really reflects on who you are, and you want to just have that positive energy that just makes people look at you and go, wow, I want to be like him, or I want to learn from him. What does he know that I don't? You know, what's he doing differently? Why is he like this? He's so positive. Or I'm sorry, she as well. Everybody, you know, people aren't always gonna remember what you say, but they do remember how you make them feel. With that in mind, you want to be an inspiration. You know, it makes a big difference to them, and it'll make you feel better too. So with that said, I do appreciate you guys' time. Sorry, I'm not a public speaker. I hope you got something out of this, and you guys have a great day on purpose. Thanks.